Okay guys, dividing decimals, okay, the last topic for decimals. So when we divide decimal, there's a few terms that we need to understand. We've got a divisor, a dividend, and a quotient, okay? The divisor is the number that you divide by, okay? So these two and this one, they're divisors, okay? The dividend is what you start with, okay? So that's that initial number that we start with, and the quotient is your answer. So if I was to say, find the quotient for this problem, you would be doing the division and that would give you the answer. It's a little bit like multiplication. You might have heard before someone say, find the product of 3 and 7, okay? And the product of 3 and 7 is obviously the answer, okay? So let's have a look at this. Now the only rule when you're dividing by decimals is that the divisor has to be a whole number. Has to be a whole number. So, with this one here, how do I turn this into a whole number? Well, that's easy. All I do is I shift the decimal point 2 places, and that's going to turn it into a 2. But whatever I do to the divisor, I have to do to the dividend, okay? So I shifted the decimal place 2 places then, I have to do that to my dividend. So it becomes 242 divided by 2. And now we can set out a normal algorithm and just do our question. 2 goes into 2 once, it goes into 4 twice, it goes into 2 once, 121. Now, unlike multiplication, you don't need to put a decimal place back in, okay, or a decimal point back in. That's your answer, 121, okay? It's like a fraction. If I have 1/2 and I times the bottom by 10, okay, the rule in fractions, whatever you do to one side of it, you have to do the other. So that means I have to multiply this side by 10 as well, or the top of it by 10. And that would give me 10 over 20. If we have a look at that, that's a half and that's a half as well. So because we do it to both of them, we still get the same answer, okay? So we don't need to worry about putting a decimal point back in at the end. This one here, I need to move the decimal point 1 place to the right. Whatever I do to the dividend, I have to do to my, whatever I do to the divisor, I have to do to my dividend. So I shift the decimal point 1 place to the right. Now your algorithm this time will have a decimal point in it. It's fine. It's okay for it to have a decimal point in it. We just make sure it sits up the top line as well. And now we can do our division. 4 goes into 6 once. We have 2 left over. 4 goes into 26, 6 times. Okay, 6 times with 3 left over. Okay, and 4 goes into 34, 8 times with 2 left over. And at the moment, we can just do a remainder. That's completely fine to just do a remainder. Over here, once again, we need to shift our decimal point 2 places to the right, which means we also have to shift our decimal point 2 places to the right here. So that means we're going to have to add in 0, okay? So, 9360 divided by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times, into 3 once, into 6 2 times, and into 0 0 times. Okay, so that means that my answer for this is 3,120. Okay, that's dividing decimals. Okay, it's a pretty simple topic. You just need to adjust the question before you start so that the number that you divide by, which is called the divisor, is a whole number. It doesn't matter if there's a decimal point in your algorithm, okay, and it doesn't matter if you have to add in zeros, okay. You do not change the answer at the end. What you get there is your answer. Dividing decimals, done.